Hello, options traders. So I want to take you through a recent trade that I shared with my trading community. I'm sharing a time spread, or what's often called a calendar trade. In this case, it's a double calendar. I'm going to show you the actual videos that I shared with my students to explain the trade to them as I was entering the trade, adjusting the trade, and then closing the trade. This entire trade played out over 2 live trading days and was able to be opened, have a minor adjustment, and then closed for just under a 14% profit in 2 trading days. So let's go to that video that I used when I opened the trade, and we'll just walk you through the process. Good morning, traders. So I'm going to enter a new trade here. Now, this is a calendar trade. In fact, it's actually a double calendar trade. So in a double calendar trade, you have a calendar that is on the call side above the market, and then you have a calendar on the put side below the market. Now, if you're not real familiar with calendars, just kind of watch, study this, see how it works. I do have a deep dive calendars course. I'll put a link to that in the posting here down below. Calendars aren't quite the animals I think that sometimes people think they are or hear they are. They are not necessarily positive vega trades. They can be, but they're not necessarily positive vega. But what I'm going to look for in this calendar, because tomorrow the markets are closed, I normally, if I put these on, I put them on a Thursday, and I put them on about 14, 15 days out, somewhere in that general range. And then I only have my calendar extending over the weekend. So this is a Friday expiration. This is a Monday expiration. So what I'm looking for usually in a calendar is something that is called backwardation. That's where the IV in the front period is higher than the IV in the back period. And we have that kind of going on here a little bit. Now, that does not guarantee a profitable trade, but it does put the odds a little more in your favor. And we can see that we're 10.16 here, 9.96 here. So there is a slight backwardation. Some of that is due to this being over a weekend. Some of that is probably due to having a holiday tomorrow where the markets are closed as well. So I'm going to go ahead, enter this trade. This has a risk of whatever we're paying for this trade. So if I'm going to try to get into this in that $4.25 range, somewhere in there. Again, doing 2 of them. So, that puts my risk in this $1,400 range, somewhere in there. Calendars aren't quite that particularly precise as well. So again, there's definitely some nuances to calendars. My goal in this is to get some decay to happen, and then by next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe middle of next week, to hopefully be out of this with maybe a 10% or so profit, or at least, if nothing else, I'm doing 2 of these. I may thin one out next week. So let me go ahead, get an order out there, see what this is looking like. Moderately wide bid-ask spread, which I don't love, but that often happens on calendars. One of the reasons that I don't carry these close to expiration is because they do tend to get pretty wide. I'm just going to leave this as a day order. I'm going to go out at 440 and leave that set there for a few hours, see if I get a fill. I will report back when I do get a fill. Okay, everyone, so I'm going to make one other minor little adjustment here. This is in the double calendar. It's moving along just fine. And as you recall, I have a GTC order floating out there to thin out one double calendar. I'm going to leave that order in place. I am not canceling that order. But what I am going to do is I'm going to roll one of these down a little bit to flatten out my deltas here. So let me just go ahead and look at what the process is here. Looks like the credit, maybe I can shoot for about $5, but I don't want to cancel my previous order. So as an OTA user, I can easily select that. So I'm pretty sure I should get a fairly quick fill on this particular change, but let me just snap a screenshot of that and then go ahead, and now we're back to 480. I don't know, maybe not, we'll see. So let me place that order. And so again, just to clarify, I have one order out there to take off a double calendar at $5.10 credit. Right now we're trading at 505, so that could even come off yet today. If not, and our market's in the same general area tomorrow, it will certainly be coming off tomorrow. And then this particular order for $5, I'm expecting will fill before the close here today. I may need to adjust it. If I do, I'll report back with my adjustment. But remember, the SPX market stays open 15 minutes after the regular market closes, so I do have a little more time on that. So I'll get back to you as I get a fill. Good morning, everyone. So my order popped off this morning to thin this double calendar by 1 unit. So I did have a short strike here, and then of course a long here, short strike here, long here. There were 2 of them. One of these got rolled yesterday. I rolled this down to tilt this a little more to be prepared for some downside movement. And that one is still intact. The other one filled this morning. Now I'm going to place an order to close out this final one here. We're up about, it's floating around that 10% range. Of course, this bounces all over because it is a calendar or a time spread. And time spreads tend to basically have a wider bid-ask spread more often than not. So I want to take a look at this, and I want to place an order out there that's likely to fill today because we'll start getting decay on this, and that's fine. I would just assume this filled today, get in, get out, get 10-15% on it, and call it a day, so to speak. So I am going to put this out there. I am going to put it as a GTC order, but again, I'm expecting it to probably fill today, kind of looking at my pricing here on this. I think that, maybe looking at this thing somewhere in, I don't know, we're all the way down at 15 cents here now, which I certainly think I should be able to get more than that, unless the market continues to run up. I need the market to kind of stay where it is or get a little bit of maybe a little bit of a pullback or a sell-off on this. And those would be good situations for this particular trade. So I think I'm going to go out at about a 60-cent credit here and just leave that order set out there. And again, through decay today or a little bit of pullback, either one of those should go ahead and close this out probably in the 15% profit range. And if I can get that in a couple of trading days, I'm all good with that. One of the things with calendars and diagonals is you don't want to carry them too close to expiration. Now, this is quite a ways away yet, but even so, the closer you get, the more difficult they can become to close. So I'm going to go out again at this 60-cent mark and leave that. Let me just snap a screenshot of this and see if that might potentially close here today. Take care, everyone. Here's a complete rundown on that trade. I know I said I opened it for 440. I actually paid a little higher. I paid 470 for it. Then I had one minor adjustment on the first trading day it was open because the market was closed on the 19th, and that was rolling that one leg down. Then on the 21st, closed out both double calendars, this one first and this one second. That resulted in just under a 14% profit or $130 gain on a trade that had fairly limited risk to it, a good reward to risk ratio, and I was able to capture that within 2 trading days time frame, 3 total days of trading. So if you'd like to upgrade your trading knowledge and get a better understanding of these types of trades, this particular one, calendars, is one that I often use a lot around earnings season as well. Simply come to sjgtrades.com. I've got a host of different opportunities for you. You can join our community for a small monthly amount, and you can see all the trades that I'm making live where I produce a video showing the opening of the trade, any adjustments, and then the closing so that everybody sees exactly what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, why I'm doing it. This is very unique when it comes to any sort of community or alert service. Many times traders will put out a simple buy Apple long calls, but no explanation as to why or what sorts of things we're looking to have happen at that point. And then also part of the community, I put out a weekend update where I analyze the current open trades I have, I analyze the market, and I talk about the game plan for the coming weeks. Then, in addition to the community, I have a whole host of courses, and under the courses area, I specifically get into a deep dive class on butterflies and then also one on calendars and diagonals, which was the specific trade that was used here. And if you're brand new to options trading and you're trying to just get a handle on the whole, how do you trade options? What are the important things I need to understand? How do I know how to manage my risk, etc.? Read a P&L diagram, understand why you sell a put, why you buy a call, etc. I would urge you to consider this deep dive course. And then if you're just simply looking for some sample trades to kind of see, is this the type of thing that I'm comfortable with? Go ahead and purchase one of these small. These are about 2 hours or so where I walk you through a whole series of trades just to help you understand whether or not this is even something for you. It's very important that whatever style of trading that a trader gravitates to, that it's something that meshes well with them and their personality and how active they want to be or not be. I tend to not be overly active. I leave my desk for 3-4 hours a day. I check the market at the open, I check the market at the close, I make some adjustments along the way if I need to, but many days I don't need to. That's the style of trading that I personally prefer at this stage of my life. There was a time where I was a day trader for many years, and I just don't want that anymore. I don't want to set up my screen and watch what's happening literally tick by tick. So hopefully you find this of value. Again, please like, subscribe if you like this sort of content. Provide me any comments as well. Thanks so much, everyone.